invite up Patty Freeman Dorson to share a very special welcome to our community as we enter a new month, Rosh Chodesh. Shabbat Shalom to you and Roland.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Tonight we welcome the month of Iyar, with the holiday of Rosh Chodesh, or the head of the month, which according to Midrash, or commentaries on biblical passages, was given to our four mothers at Sinai as a gift for refusing to contribute their jewelry to be melted down for building the golden calf. As I looked for a reading for Rosh Chodesh, I found this on the website Ritual Well. Though many of us never heard of Rosh Chodesh as a women's holiday when we were growing up, we now understand that, like so much of our inheritance as Jewish women, the fact that we do not know about it doesn't mean it didn't exist. Many of our great-grandmothers probably did observe Rosh Chodesh, either by reciting a special tachin, a woman's prayer, or by refraining from certain kinds of work. Fascinating. But what's a tachin? Tachin, not to be confused with tahina, the sesame paste that's put into hummus, was nothing short of a revolution in women's spirituality, Jewish women's spirituality. Tahins were short prayers written by or for Jewish women in parts of Eastern Europe, starting in the 16th century. Because that spirituality and connection to the divine took place outside of the synagogue and existed within the home, Yiddish-speaking women who spoke a certain dialect of Hebrew and Eastern European languages together, found ways to supplement their practice outside of the traditional liturgy, like the Torah and the Tanakh, the 5 books of Moses. Tachins were produced to remedy a serious gap in the religious lives of women, who generally did not know Hebrew and so could not recite the set prayers with understanding. From the 16th century until our great-grandmother's generation, Jewish women would pour out their prayers and find consolation through the tachin. With the rise of feminist Jewish practice and a reclaiming of parts of Judaism for women, tachin have begun to recirculate into the mainstream. These prayers have become modernized, and many continue with the tradition of filling the gaps that Jewish women have felt in their spiritual lives. Tachin gave women a voice, says an article on myjewishlearning.com. On Rosh Chodesh, we honor the traditions of our mothers and grandmothers and great-grandmothers, traditions lost and traditions still being reclaimed. What is truly reclaimed is a woman's voice, a voice never heard on the Bima, a voice silenced in the Holocaust, a voice rediscovered through bat mitzvah and rabbinic ordination, and a voice we celebrate on Rosh Chodesh. Appropriately, this poem, written by Rabbi Margaret Frisch Klein, who shares her work on her blog, The Energizer Rabbi, is titled Voices. I shall sing to Adonai, chanted Miriam. A voice cried out, mourned Rachel, whose children were no more. If you give me a child, I will dedicate him to you, Hannah wept and prayed in her heart. Devorah judged, sitting under a palm tree, causing the sun to stop. No, said Vashti, I will not come. Save my life and the life of my people, demanded Esther. Every Friday night we read, she opened her lips with wisdom, and the law of kindness is on her tongue. So says Proverbs, or maybe it is how Abraham chose to eulogize Sarah. Women have always prayed at the shores of the sea, in the wilderness, in the women's court at the Holy Temple, in their homes and on their way, wherever they are. We have their words, their songs, their laments, their hopes, their tachin, in Yiddish, in Ladino, in Hebrew, in every language. And yet, a woman's voice is dangerous, alluring. It can't be heard. It shouldn't be heard. Even today, some groups teach this. Women don't have to pray, except they do. Women are exempt, except they are not. Women can't read Torah, except they can. I can give you chapter and verse. But why? Why should we? Why do we still need to prove ourselves, to justify ourselves? Why are we made to feel that our voices are less authentic, less real, less important, less necessary? No, rather, I will use my voice to make this world a better place, to speak out against injustice, to cry out, to sing out, to open my mouth with kindness. Okay, someday I pray, I will open my mouth with kindness. I will listen to the still small voice within. With all my being, I will praise God. As the psalmist said, what profit is there if I am silenced? What benefit if I go to my grave? Like Miriam and Rachel, Hannah and Deborah and Esther, like Beruria and Glucol, Osnat and Regina, like countless women in every generation, my voice must be heard. Our voices will be heard. Shabbat Shalom and happy Rosh Chodesh Iyar.